It is 16 megapixel high resolution camera.
Namaskar, hello, and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Sonali Gupta, and on behalf of Infinix, it's a moment of great joy and delight as we extend a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests and, of course, all the members of media and press who've gathered here to be a part of this truly momentous occasion. We promise you a very, very exciting day ahead. Well, I can see that we have a full house here today, so thank you so much for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the past week has been truly packed for all of you. We have seen many launches of smartphones across hundreds of brands, which only means that today, smartphones are not just a part of their life. It has truly become a bare necessity for each one of us, which means that we want our smartphones to evolve with us. We want our smartphones to understand us better. In fact, we want that our smartphones should know what we want before we even command it. Which means that there's a huge scope and there is an infinite opportunity that we can look forward to with the smartphones. We're not just looking at phones, we are looking at intelligent devices, or perhaps something that is beyond intelligent. Today, we've all gathered here for something exactly like that. We promise you that we are going to bring to you a technology marvel that is going to blow your minds away. It's time for us now to officially commence the proceedings. So before we go on and unveil the bigger surprises of the day, let us call on stage a man who's truly been leading Infinix by example. He's been on forefront of all the opportunities that have been coming across in the Indian markets. Please welcome our first speaker for the day, Mr. Managing Director, Infinix India. Welcome, sir. A big round of applause, please.
Good morning. So before I start my slides, I want to say a few words because this is, I think, exactly 1 year after I joined my first events. It was August 2017 in the same hotel, I think the venue besides this one. And at that time, I started the journey of Infinix in India. And also at that time, I think a lot of the friends from the industry and partners are still thinking or questioning, is this just one of another brand coming to India? And how long this brand can survive in India? But today, after 1 year journey in India, I want to say or announce that today, 100% of the Infinix devices has been made in India. And we are very, very committed and more committed that this is going to be a very, very long-term journey for Infinix in India. So I want to say some words about Chanshen. So the vision of Chanshen is to be one of the most favorited OEMs of mobile smart devices and mobile value-added services provider in the emerging market. We focus on emerging market. I'm not going to endorse those figures, but according to the figures, Chanshen has been one of the leading mobile phone and smartphone OEMs in the world. And we are growing close to 40% year by year. And Chanshen is also among one of the top 5 smart devices OEMs in India. We believe that the key successful factors of Chanshen is to think globally but act locally. So apart from our R&D centers located in Shanghai, in Beijing and Shenzhen, we also is the pioneer of set up our R&D centers outside of China, like Africa. And also our R&D center in India has been already approved and on the preparation. I believe we are going to launch it very soon. We are also the pioneer of make phones and make smartphones outside of China. We are the first OEMs make phones in Africa. And we are also one of the OEMs today make phones in India. As I have said, Infinix has been 100% made in India. When I say make in India, it is 100% CKD in India. And now we are trying to improve our capacity so that we can make more of our other brands to be 100% made in India someday. When we are expanding our business to more than 50 countries in the emerging market, we have almost 2,000 plus service centers available in those countries. And I want to say half of them is owned by us, and half of them is located in India only. So a great device or a great service cannot be made by or provided by one single company. We have a lot of great partners for Note 5, which we are sharing today. I think Google has been joining us this journey from the very beginning, as well as MediaTek, and Joe has been supporting us for this project in India, especially. And I cannot name all of my partners, but we believe that during this long-term journey, only the world-class partners can bring us there. So, this is my report, and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sharing with us, of course, the wonderful and the very successful journey of Infinix so far. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at Infinix, our passion for smartphones and amazing features is absolutely endless. So we've always believed in raising the bar. And we would now like to call on stage a man whose passion for these phones is absolutely contagious for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, to tell you a bit more about the features of the new phone that is going to be shortly launched, and of course, our plans for marketing it in India, I would like to welcome on stage Mr. Anish Kapoor, Infinix CEO, India. Welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's have a big round. Girls, we can do that.
Thank you, Sonali. Thank you, Ben, for sharing all the wonderful data. I think very important for all of us to understand how we are thinking about Infinix in India from a global perspective and a group perspective. And I think it's pretty good. Ben has laid down very, very straightforwardly. India is the most critical market for us as we move forward. Can you just lower the lights, please, a bit? Very warm welcome to all of you. I think thank you for joining us today. I know the rains in Delhi are pretty difficult to manage, but thank you all of you for joining us here. Very warm welcome to all the people who are watching us on the webcast and the fans who have joined us today. I think that's something which we are looking forward to as we go forward. I think Ben has explained how we have gone and probably what we have done globally and what do we want to do in India. But I think I'll take you through the journey, how we started in India, a small 2-3 slides, and then I'll take you through the product and something which all of you are looking forward to today. I think, as Ben mentioned, 2017 is when we started. When you were the same, probably a different hall, but yes, 2017 is our journey when we started. And the first product which we launched was Note 4 and the Hot 4 Pro as well. I think one of the most successful products in our launched in India so far. And we were Sorry for this. I think one of the most performing devices for us, and Ben mentioned a lot of people thought maybe it's a small journey, a new brand comes in and does a new launch and probably will fade away, but yes, we are here for a long term, newly committed to India. So some great launches which we did in 2017, we launched 3 of our global series. One was Note, one was Hot, and one was Zero. 2018, we have started, we did our first launch of the Selfie series, which has been received very well by the people. And I think got great feedback, great consumer response, and so we're very happy with what we are seeing right now. And last 2 months actually have been pretty busy for us. We have been started to launch all the categories. So we launched the Smart category for India. I think we're meeting pretty, I think 3 weeks back only we met and when we announced this product. And obviously Hot 6 Pro, which has been performing very well. So you will see there's a full range of products which we have brought to India. And with every product or every range, we are trying to address a consumer need, which is very, very important to give a wholesome experience in the market. It is not about creating devices just by putting some specs together. It is about how to optimize that experience as well. So, commitment to quality, as I said, important to optimize the experience. It comes from the love all of you have given us, all the people who have been using our devices. You see the ratings which we have on Flipkart and who's been our partner since the starting. Every product has been rated 4, 4.2, 4.3, which is actually, I would say, an exceptional journey for us. So we will continue to be committed to quality as we go forward. That's something which we thrive and strive for. That takes me to the very important part, because I think it's important to understand how the journey has been. So today I'll talk about the Note series. I think that's why we are come together here. So when we started our journey in 2017, it was already the 4th series of Note globally. It has been one of the most successful franchisee for Infinix globally. But yes, we started our journey in India last year, so we started with Note 4 because we wanted to able to experience what we have been doing in other markets as well. And as I said, it has been a great response so far on the Note as well. So when after Note 4, we started thinking what to do with Note 5, because it's very important to create something which helps consumers, which helps optimize the experience. And we are really focusing right now on the India first strategy. So all the inputs on what we should be doing, how we should create products, a lot of inputs are going from India to HQ, and Ben has been very supportive of that. So I think we create the right products which addresses this market in the rightful way. Infinix Note 4, this is what consumers said about Infinix Note 4. The value for money, 4.8, display was 4.6, 4.5 on battery, 4.5 on camera. So these are the good things, and I think some consumer feedback, if you were to read through those lines, you will see a great performance, superb phone, brilliant display, brilliant camera, looks premium, awesome battery. But we also got a lot of feedbacks on what we created for the first time. So that was very critical for us to understand what do we do with the next product. So one of the feedbacks which came was better photography experience is required in low lighting conditions. So we'll accept it. Operating system, we have our own UI system, so people say we need to really optimize. We received that feedback. And I think while we thought the phone was pretty good, some people thought the weight was too much, though we had put in a huge battery in that device as well. So we took all these feedbacks, and then we started really wondering what to do now, because we have to really make the next Note much better than what we did in the Note 4. So this is what we decided, and this is what we did. So we are partnering with Android One to launch our Note 5, which will probably take care of all the challenges which we have seen or as a feedback. So I present to you Note 5, which is probably the most intelligent and most brilliant device and powered by Google. Let me explain. So I think while it is powered by Google, Android one, something people really love because people have been talking about give us pure stock Android experience. So that's how the thought and that's what it led to. So we got into this Android program with Google. So what are the key pillars of a great smartphone? A smartphone is not only about two specs or a processor. It is about what all goes into that smartphone so that it is an extension of your personality. I think everybody likes to carry that. It's not only the brand, but overall experience, as I said earlier. So let me talk about design, battery, camera, and operating system. These are the four things which make a great device, which gives a wholesome experience to the people who use it. Let me talk about the full design and what we have done. So what we have put in here is a 18:9 aspect ratio, which is the new full view display everybody talks about. And it's a 5.99-inch full HD display with a 500 nits of brightness and a great color output, which is 80% of the NTSC ratio. So once you look at the screen, you will see the quality of screen is much brighter, much more. The color gamut is extremely good, which makes it stand out in the category it operates. The second challenge which we had was how to make it lighter, how to fit a compact phone, because that's a feedback which came. So from Note 4 to Note 5, the transition which we did from 5.7-inch screen, we went to 6-inch full HD. The screen to body ratio is from 75%, it goes to 85%. So that's a big change which has happened. And third, and the most important one, because there's a lot of feedback which came, the phone is a bit heavy. While we have done much more with the phone, we have reduced the width of the phone as well. I think it is probably one of the most beautiful device you will see when you will experience it once the whole thing is over and we have the area for you to experience it. Why I'm saying this, the premium glass finish makes it really good. And obviously it has unibody design with tapered edges. And you will not feel it, it's a very bulky phone and it's a very large phone. It's very nice. You can really hold it in your hand. And it looks extremely good as part of your extension. Let me go to the second part. Very important. Yes, what we have done here is we have actually improved the battery. I thought 4300 battery was itself is a great landmark. But now what we have done is we have upped the ante. We have put in 4500 mAh of battery in this. But we have not increased the weight. What we have actually done is with the new design, we've actually reduced the weight by 20 grams. So it's much more lighter in the hand, and once you'll take it in the hand, you'll not feel it is carrying a 4500 mAh battery. And so we talk about a 3-day battery. That's something which we have been saying. We think this 4500 mAh battery will give you 3 days straight because it's backed by AI power management. So AI is a very generic word which is being used by everyone, but what AI power management does is actually recognizes your usage pattern and accordingly throws the power and distributes the power. So you will see how the battery optimizes itself as you start using this phone. And obviously, when you give such a big battery, you need it to charge fast as well. So we're making sure you get a fast charger with it. So it's a fast charging unit with 18 watt of X-Charge. X-Charge is what our patent is for fast charge technology. So you can actually get a 1-day battery only in 30 minutes. So that's the additional which we have done. So with this battery, what all you can do, it's right on your screen. You can actually enjoy 1300 hours of standby time. So once you charge it, it will continue to go on and on. and it has close to 38 hours of talk time, as you see here. If you want to listen to music, you can continue to do it for over a period of 4-5 days as well. 152 hours is what we are talking about. 16 hours of video, 13 hours of web browsing, and probably 10 hours of gaming. So with this device and with the kind of battery and AI power management, this is what you can do with the new Note 5. That takes me to the third part, which is very important. I think one of the things which people use really, really well and probably use it daily, much more than what it was in earlier times, that's camera. Great feedback, some feedback which we had on Note 4, we have really tried our best to put it to a next level, which you will see once you start experiencing the device. So we have made sure this device is perfect for a low light photography. It has automatic scene detection mode, ASD mode as we call it, and obviously the portrait mode as well. Let me just explain quickly what it is. Once we launched Note 4, we had 1.12 micron pixels. So that's the size of the pixels, which determines the kind of light it gets. We've actually upped the ante and we've increased the size of the pixels, which is moves from 1.12 to 1.25 microns, which will help in much better, brighter pictures and much more beautiful photos once we start clicking it. So that's typically to explain. If you see here, you will see how the typical 1.12 will look like. These squares start becoming much bigger, which helps the light to come in, which creates those nice sharp pictures which we want to really click. And why it is good for low light photography? So we already said, as I said, it is large pixels. Aperture size is 2.0, which obviously helps in better light coming through. And we continue to give a nice flash, dual LED flash, which is probably one of the signature things for most of the devices which we launch. Auto scene detection, I think pretty much we keep clicking pictures in different lights and different scenarios. And what it does is you really don't need to adjust. It automatically adjusts and it recognizes the environmental conditions. So whatever environment you are in, whether you are in outside, you are really going out on a picnic, you are in the bus, traveling, whatever it is, it picks up the environment and accordingly adjusts. And you can have a great, nice, bright picture, and that's the ASD, that's how it works. I think one of the most wanted requirements is the bokeh mode, or the portrait mode, sorry, for the rear camera. I think people really don't want unwanted people to be there in the pictures. And I think with the AI-based segmentation, it clearly finds out the human face and identifies it, and really makes sure we don't see anything else when we click those pictures in the portrait mode. That's for the rear camera. I think that's few of the pictures you will see which has been clicked using the phone over last few days. We thought we should actually give you what kind of pictures can be clicked. You can see the quality of pictures, the detailing which has been done in each of the pictures. I think it really stands out, and I think I've been using this camera, so I think you will really find it very, very interesting. What is the capability of this camera, what we can do with it. Taking to the second part of the camera, I think selfie is something which is driving our nation these days. So I think selfie is very critical. Last time we didn't have a great camera, or probably something which we got as a feedback. But I think this time we have really outdone ourselves with the new AI-powered selfie camera. It is 16 megapixel high-resolution camera. What it is capable of is low-light selfies, as I mentioned earlier, and one of the feedbacks which we got. It has the beauty mode and the bokeh selfie. So this is all powered by artificial intelligence, as we say. So there's a lot of work which is happening. The brains are there for it to identify how that camera will work. It is not limited to what you're thinking. It's a natural thing which is happening in the background as well. How do you make the low light selfies really possible? You have a big aperture, which is 2.0. 4-in-1 big pixels, that's something which we have done instead of those small pixelates. We have tried to make it a bigger pixel so that adequate light can come in, and we have a soft light LED flash as well. So that makes it for a perfect selfie camera wherein you can go to any kind of place wherein even if the light is not adequate, it will give you a great selfie experience. Beauty mode, I think all of us want to look really good, and we use beauty mode a lot. And based on the learning algorithm which we have had now in Infinix, it actually captures those 255 facial points. Sorry. These 255 facial points, if you see, it identifies the face very, very nicely and accordingly clicks and gives you the best possible options of your pictures, how you want to look. So if you have those pictures in front of you, it actually picks up the right way you should be looking. Bokeh selfie, that's the same story with the portrait mode. So very intelligent camera. It has its bokeh mode wherein it blurs out everything and you can have those beautiful selfies taken. So that's about camera. I think there are a few more parts which I would want my colleague and Kamal to do it. So Kamal, please.
Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all media colleagues and the partners, and thank you very much for being here on a historical day with launch of Infinix Note 5. Thanks Anish for sharing a detailed information about the product, about the camera, design story, what we have for it, and especially the Android One story, what we have with the Note 5. But when you have a great hardware, then definitely you really need a great processor to give you the best performance on your smartphone. Talking about the smartphone, Anish talked about beyond intelligent, then definitely the processor has to intelligent enough to support the intelligent part of your smartphone. Infinix Note 5 comes with Helio P23 processor, which is based on 16 nanometer FinFET technology. So what it does basically, it really gives you higher performance and it really optimizes the power performance, and it comes with dual SIM, dual VoLTE solution. This is one of the reasons why we have chosen this smartphone, this processor on this smartphone, because the other processors which are available in this segment only supports 4G plus 3G solution, wherein the way VoLTE implementation is happening across India by other operators, definitely you would need a smartphone which really can support 2 VoLTE SIM cards at the same point of time. Why it's not moving? So in order to check the performance of a processor, so what we have done a processor benchmarking in the price segment other smartphones available. So we have taken 3 examples here. One smartphone which is based on the Kirin 659. The other smartphone, what we have taken with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 625, and the third one obviously the Infinix Note 5 with Helio P23. So on the N22 benchmark, what we get on this smartphone, Honor 9 Lite based on Kirin 659 gets you about 74,998 N22 benchmark score. Whereas your Snapdragon 625 based smartphone gives you about 77,236 N22 score. And you'll be surprised to see the result on the Helio P23. It gives you 84,770 N22 benchmark. It really clearly defines that this is a very powerful smartphone with the dual VoLTE solutions available on Infinix Note 5. Yes, it has a 3-in-1 card slot. Rather, we started this story with Infinix Note 5 1 year back, and we have carried the same story here also. What you can do, you can have 2 SIM cards, as well as you can attach micro SD card also, which can support up to 128 GB of external memory. It has a fingerprint sensor, which helps you in, unlocking your phone in less than 0.3 seconds. Talking about the most important part, Anish talked about how we have improved on the Android One story on the operating system part. So let me just talk about the Android One, what benefits is going to give to our customers. Android One is designed by Google to a smartphone to be smart, secure, and simply amazing. Android One device is combined with optimized software from Google, from latest AI-based technology solution to high-grade security system, and a beautifully designed hardware from Infinix. Yes, smart, a phone that works smarter than you. How? So basically Android One, what it does in order to enhance your overall battery capacity life, it prioritizes the battery power management to the most frequently used apps. With the help of Google Assistant on the Android One devices, what you can do, you can find answers for all your questions by simply saying, "Okay Google, take selfie. Okay Google, what's the report? Okay Google, navigate from this place to Delhi airport." So with the help of voice and the Google Assistant, you really can do a lot of things on the Infinix Note 5. And other innovation what we have is the Google Photos. Google Photos allows you to store unlimited of high resolution photos and videos directly onto the Google Photos, and this is available only on the Android One devices. And further what it does, basically it classifies all the photos and videos into place, things, so that you can have an easy access to those photographs. Talking about the security, which is very important. Nowadays what we do, we install a lot of application on our devices, right? A lot of important data is being stored on our devices, which includes all your personal information, which is about all the banking passwords. We do a lot of net banking, right, on that. And definitely you would need a smartphone which is really secure. So what it does basically, the security protection layer is built in Google Android One software. So on a monthly basis, you get all the security updates on your smartphone. Rather, Android One devices are the only one devices who first gets the security update before other devices gets security update and the latest Android updates on that. And the second part is the Google Play Protect. On the Android One devices, Google Play Protect scans over 50 billion applications on a daily basis to ensure that you really don't get any malware virus on your smartphone, to ensure that your all data is protected. Third, about Simply Amazing. So basically, Android One devices comes with a very limited number of pre-installed app and a very clean UI for it, so that you can store a lot of data on that. And all the storage is already taken care by Google Android One with the help of Google Photos. You can store all your data, photographs, videos on the Google Photos. This is the latest innovation from the Google side, is a Google Lens. I'm sure some of you must have heard about this feature. And Android One devices are the only first devices right now wherein you see this feature in the camera app, right, preview app. Other devices you really don't get that. You only get this feature with the Google Photos, but here what you get, under your camera app, you get this Lens. So what this does basically, it really helps you in learning more about the objects, about the things, about the people. So we typically call it like see and learn about the thing. So what you can do, for example, if you're traveling somewhere, if somebody is, for example, right, Shanghai, visiting some place, he has gone to India Gate, he wants to know about this monument. What he can do in the Infinix Note 5, he can just simply go on to camera app, click on the Google Lens icon and just project on India Gate. That what he will get on that, he will get to know, oh, this monument is India Gate. He will get to know, probably if he wants to learn more about it, he can learn what is India Gate, about the history, when it was made, whatever he wants to know on that. The second most important feature of Google Lens, which personally I like that. For example, if I'm reading, if I get to see some very nice quote, or maybe some, I want to send it to Anish, for example. So what I can simply open my camera app, tap on the Google Lens, select the text, copy it from there and there on the WeChat, WhatsApp, wherever I want to send, I can send it to Anish rather than, just typing the entire content on that. So what we have done, in order to learn more about Google Lens, we have a demo zone right behind you. So after this presentation, probably you yourself can just go there and see what I'm talking about. So we talked about a lot about the hardware, about the software feature. So let me just summarize on this, why this phone is beyond intelligent, why we call this smartphone as a beyond intelligent. Yes, it is a perfect smartphone with a set of great hardware, comes with a lot of intelligence in it. For example, it has your 5.99-inch Full HD Plus display, which comes with 18:9 ratio. It has a premium design with a glass finish at the back and 2.5D curved glass. On the selfie side, it has a 16-megapixel AI-enabled selfie camera with low lighting selfie, bokeh selfie, AI beauty mode. What you get on that? It has a massive 4,500 mAh of battery, which really lasts for 3 days, what we call it, and it comes with 18-watt charger. Otherwise, what you see in the market right now, everybody is sort of not giving the fast charges on that. On this front camera also, it has a large pixel 12 megapixel AI-based large 1.25 micron pixel. So it really helps you in getting low light photography experience. It is powered by Helio P23, which gives you dual SIM, dual VoLTE solution. And this device is powered by Google Android One program. And this device will get all the monthly security patches, new latest update from the Google before other devices gets. And it has the latest Google Lens application, which really helps you in learn about the objects, about the things very fast. On this note, thank you very much. That's all from my side. Over to you, Anish.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamal. I think very clearly detailed out what all it is capable of. And let me just play the product video for you to just understand what all we are talking about. Can I have the product video, please? So that's what the product is all about. So I think everyone is waiting for these two things. What do we think, since we have talked about all the products now? Before going to the pricing, I'll just show you a quick comparison of how we stand vis-a-vis competition. Some devices which people see they're very good devices, but how do we stack ourselves in terms of that? You're looking at a comparison in terms of better battery, better screen, fast charging solution. We're talking about a great dual LED flash, a large pixel camera, and with a better aperture. So we're talking about a superb selfie camera, which is not there in any of the phones which we're looking at. We obviously come with Android Oreo 8.1 out of the box, and I think it's the first phone in the category which will have Android One. So I think it's a great overall package we have tried to put together. So hopefully, I'm sure everyone will like it when the pricing is done. So I think the next part is the most important part for everyone. We'll have this in two variants. Now you just have to tell me the price. So, anyone with the pricing? What do you think should be the pricing? So that's the right pricing, right? Okay. Yes. So we have 3 plus 32 variant at 9999, probably the most powerful note in this price segment, with Android 1. And the 4 plus 64 variant would be available at 11999. It's not that bad, and I think we can do with some round of applause for this. Thank you. And it will be available with our partner Flipkart exclusively. The sale starts on 31st, 12 noon. So anyone and everyone would, I hope, we are there and to buy this great device. With this, I would request Shonali to take over.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anish. Let's have a big round of applause for Mr. Kapoor here. Come on. And I think, Mr. Kapoor, can I request you to please stay back? And I think we can have a bigger round of applause after hearing the amazing price point. Come on, everybody. Woohoo! So I can see a big smile on everybody's face, which means we've won your hearts already. But I think it's time for us to bring up front and close the reason why we've gathered here. You've seen it on screen. You've heard about the amazing features that the Note 5 is loaded with. I think it's time for each one of us now to take a look at the all-new phone right here in front of you. Well, I hope that your pulse is racing faster than ever before. Each one of you is strapped on. You're all set and you are ready to witness a rage that is going to hit the Indian markets. Ladies and gentlemen, amidst a lot of applause, lots of noise, let's welcome amongst us, firstly, a very special guest. First, to please join us back on stage, sir. I was so excited to bring the phone on. Welcome back, gentlemen. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise and let's welcome on stage the all-new Infinix Note 5. Woo! See a lot of cameras up in the air. This is the moment that you can capture for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the all-new Infinix Note 5 is out and all set to win your hearts with the amazing features. We have spoken about the Android One, we have spoken about the Google Lens, and today you will have the pleasure of experiencing all of this firsthand. We have created a very special experience zone for all of you right at the back. You can go ahead, take a look at the phones and enjoy its features. While we've spoken, we would request everybody to please keep seated. While we've spoken a lot about the features of the phone, I know that we have a lot of people here who love technology. They're passionate about their phones, about their smartphones, and they want to know more about it. We will shortly be opening the floor for Q&A session. So get your questions ready. We have Mr. Benjamin here with us. We have Mr. Kapoor here with us. They will be happy to answer to any of your queries. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are all settled. I would like to officially open the floor for Q&A session. We will have somebody walking up to you with a mic. Please tell us your name and the publication you're from before asking the question. Any questions?
Just before the questions, 3 colors I forgot to mention. This device will be available in 3 colors. Black, you will see a beautiful black, ice blue, and a berlin gray. So we've actually got some beautiful colors for this device. I think that's also something, it's a first, and we are really not thinking about gold colors anymore. Thank you.
Superb. So, beautiful colors, fantastic features that it's loaded with. Anybody who has any questions? Yes, we have a gentleman back there.
Hello sir, myself Dhruv. I'm from a YouTube channel Dhruv Tech. I want to ask what's the target demographic for Note 5?
I didn't get the...
What's the target demographic for Note 5, sir?
You want to answer? I answer. See, it's a power device. Anyone and everyone who wants a great overall experience and willing to spend 10K kind of money, we are looking for people to give more choices to people. Right now, there's a limitation. We see there are a few devices which are available, but I think today's TG of smartphone is not limited by age anymore. It's about what do you want and what do you want to do with that phone. And we also say it's not only a processor which makes the phone.
Sure.
This overall experience. So we want to get the right camera, right battery, right screen, right processor to give you the best experience. So we would say anyone and everyone who's willing to spend that kind of money, this is the phone of choice for you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, hi, this is Zia Askari from Telecom Drive. A couple of questions. One is primarily targeted towards your go-to market strategy. So, how do you want to move ahead in the market, taking this product across various channels, whether it is online or as well as offline? And the other one would be on the innovation side. So, according to you, what are some of the big innovations that a product like this is going to bring to the market?
See, as I mentioned, so there are two parts to your question. In terms of channel, we will continue to be exclusively online. As a part of overall Transient Group, Infinix is right now focusing on the online strategy, and we have exclusive partnership with Flipkart going on right now. To the second question, if you can repeat it again, please.
It's primarily on the innovation side. So, something like this kind of device, what innovations is it like?
I think when you get into an Android program anyways, I think there's a lot of innovations which come with the package. So, it's the quality, as I said to the answer to the gentleman's question earlier. It's innovation can be in terms of how do you want that camera to be, or how do you want that device to be used or optimized for the experience of the consumers. What we have done by partnering with Google is we have given you the first Android one at a very, very aggressive or a sub 10K segment, which has not been available till now. And with that, it comes with Google Lens and Google Voice Assistant, which is there as a part of the package. I think these add a lot of value to the overall experience of the consumers as we go forward. And obviously, it has the artificial intelligence built in. So those algorithms which you are using to power the camera and battery will make it stand out in this category. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, this is Kunal from PC Mag India. Congratulations on the launch. Oh, here. Yeah. Hi. So, my question is more about the Android One program. You've mentioned it's running on 8.1, so I'm assuming by the end of this year, you'll get the new update. Sure. And also, you've spoken about the camera features. So that is a dedicated camera app that you've installed, and can we expect more apps on this, customized apps on this? Because I know all of the features that you mentioned are obviously in a custom camera app that you guys have installed. So will there be more apps installed apart from your camera app?
Okay, so I believe you understand the business model of Android One or the rules of Android One very well. So we have to from Google for all the apps which is preloaded in the system, because we have the highest security level for Android One devices. So all the apps, including the camera app, is also approved by Google. And we try our best to make the system with a very original Android experience for our consumer. So I hope that answered your question.
But can I assume that you're going to have more than just the camera app on the phone?
Yeah, the camera app is a customized app from Infinix, but it's also passed the testing and approval of Google.
So there will be more apps apart from the camera.
I think we have minimized the preloaded apps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Rajiv from Digital Terminal. I would like to ask about the service part. Because, launching is one of the phenomena which we are seeing from last couple of months. Lots of brands are coming. So as you are through Flipkart online, so what will be your investment plan for the betterment of the service?
I think we mentioned in the presentation as well. We right now have 958 service centers, which is spread across more than 700 towns. So before starting, and since Transsion is in India for last 2.5 years now, we already built up a very capable service network which takes care of all the brands. So service is already one of the key priorities on which we focus, and we are already making sure every nook and corner which we can cover in India is what we are doing with our spread right now. So that's why you see a spread of 700 towns with 958 service centers so far.
So the model is a partnership model with the offline players? What?
For the service?
Yeah.
Yes, so yes, it's not a, so we are opening a lot of own service centers as well, which is company owned, company operated, which are flagship service models. But what we have is one of the brands which we have is Care, which essentially focuses on the service part. And it takes care of service of all the brands which we operate as a group. So yes, we have the service network, we have the capability, and it is managed very, very fervently, and we make sure the TAT is taken care of.
Thank you.
I know there are a few more questions. Before we take on those questions, sir, just 1 second. Just a small announcement I would like to make. This is very important. So I'm so sorry I wanted to make sure that everybody is a part of it. We've created a very special photo printing booth right here. So I know that everybody here loves social media. They love to talk about what's going on. I know you'll be talking a lot about the Infinix Note 5 launch. We request you all to please make sure that you use 2 hashtags. If you use the hashtag #BeyondIntelligent and hashtag Infinix Note 5 and post your pictures on Instagram or probably Facebook or Twitter, we will make sure that we print your pictures and you can collect a hard copy from right here, right now from Infinix Zone. So please make sure that you do that. Take home some special memories. Wherever you're talking about us, please make sure that you use the 2 hashtag handles. Make sure that you talk about Infinix Note 5 and Beyond Intelligent. So please make sure you do that. Now, while we're on that, we can take a few more questions.
Mr. Kapoor here.
Yeah.
How do you foresee the competition with Samsung, who is holding the maximum market share at this present, and globally they are the market leader?
See, India is a very exciting market. So I think there's enough space for each and every brand to come in and play its game. And I think Benjamin showed in the starting there's a third-party data which is available, how the market is moving in different across the globe. So I don't see it's Samsung only which is a competition. I think we are trying to better ourselves every time when we launch the product. We are trying to make sure we get the pulse of the consumer. We do a lot of investment in terms of research to get the right product out at the right price point. So that's what we want to do, and that's what we want to do continuously as we go forward. So competition will keep happening because India is the biggest market and the biggest growing market in the world of smartphones. People will keep coming, but as Ben said and I said, we are here for a long term, and we'll continue to make sure we get the right products at the right price point.
But Vivo and Oppo, they also came into the market and they were also claiming the same thing what you are saying, but they are not nowhere right now.
That's a good news actually if you're saying so, but I think both the players are still there in the market and trying to do whatever they're trying to do, but I really wouldn't like to comment on how they're planning and panning out. I only know how we want to do this journey, so that's what I mentioned right now.
Okay, let's hope for the best, and
Thank you so much.
all the best.
Thank you for your wishes. Thank you guys for joining. I think one more thing I missed out, and I'm really sorry for this. My partner, Geo partner, is really looking very angry right now. So we have a special offer from Geo. Apart from 200 GB data, 50 GB data is 500 GB. It's right there. 50 GB additional data is what we have got. So 2,200 rupees cashback benefit plus 50 GB additional data. So that's with partnership with Geo. Thank you, Geo, for giving all the support in our journey. So thank you so much. I would request you to please go and experience what we have just said. It's very important for you to look at the device and see how it looks like. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kapoor, and of course, Mr. Jiang here. Thank you so much for all your inputs. Ladies and gentlemen, just to tell you once again, we have created a very exclusive experience zone for all of you. We are very proud to introduce two unique features for the very first time in Infinix phone at this price point, which is Android One and the Google Lens.